Okay, so now it is giving hello. So whenever you will return an object, then representation function will call. Is it clear? When you will print, then string function. When you will return, then representation function. Okay. Okay. Same. There are some more function like hashable and iterable also. That will tell what to do when square braces will call. Okay, that will call a iter function. Okay. Okay. So similarly, underscore iter is also there. Underscore hash is also there. These are some advanced. You can read it later. Okay. So you can make a class which will be iteratable also. There you can use these representation and strings separately. That's why whenever you are calling list class, then it is not telling the memory location of list. Instead, it is showing square braces and the elements and square braces close. Okay. So if you want to make your own list class, then you have to determine that represent function, string function, iter function accordingly. Okay, you can make your own personal list class also and use it like this. Okay. Yeah. So these are inbuilt function, and then you can define your own functions also. You can define your user defined function also here. Uh, User defined method. Okay. You can.
Besides memory management and like encapsulation, like what is the main difference between like we are doing the procedural one and the object oriented one? Like
Yeah. Yeah. So here you will always store. You will always store in the same template. Okay. Now it is like a rule that tube should have always 4 balls. If you are developing any tube, it should have always 4 balls. Okay, it should have always one move function. Okay, it should have always have one overflow function. Okay, now you don't have to check this condition again and again. Okay, if you are just putting as a list, okay, then if I am just putting b 5 times, then what will happen? No, you have to apply the if condition again and again, right? But once you make a class tube, then you don't have to do it. Huh? क्यों? नहीं, if you have made one object of tube and there you are checking this if condition, then it will give the error. Okay. His question is why we can't use this in procedural. So in procedural you have to check again and again. Every time whenever you are checking, you have to define, then you have to call that function or check if condition again and again.
Like procedural is not user friendly.
Yeah. Yeah.
With rather than object, like we can apply it to a greater extent. Like
Yeah, that's why in OOPS there are 4 pillars. Okay, first is encapsulation, everything in one place. Okay, abstraction. Okay, abstraction is basically same thing what I told.
like
Okay,
hiding the background
yeah,
feature that
yeah,
like showing
yeah. So now you don't have to worry about that. It should always be 4 or greater less than 4. Okay. Once you defined one function inside it that if greater than 4, then give overflow error. Okay. Now if someone is using your this tube class, you don't have to worry about 4 string, or you will directly get the overflow error, right? You don't have to worry about what is the logic behind it. Okay, he can directly use it. Okay, this is abstraction. Now tube is a black box. When you are using list, you don't have to worry about that na it is hashable or not, it is iteratable or not. That is already defined in when we declare the list class. That is abstraction. Okay, when you are using list, you don't have to worry how list is defined.
Yeah.
You can directly use with some rule.
by knowing the method.
Yeah, by knowing the method. Okay, this is abstraction. Then polymorphism. Polymorphism is basically what?
like function overloading, like the same method can react to different parameters. Like if we call it the same name, like
Guys, what are you discussing, bro? What is any issue?
हमें मतलब ये क्या हम लोग ने जब ट्यूब वन में पास किया था तो क्या ट्यूब पास किया था
हाँ,
ट्यूब वन में एक लिस्ट पास किया था
ओके
तो भैया हम लोग ने जब क्लास में डिफाइन किया तो उसमें लिस्ट कहाँ पे पास करवाया हम लोगों ने आर्गुमेंट में ऐसा है
that is the constructor, na? Whenever you will call a class, it will call the underscore init function. So whatever parameter init is taking, that parameter class will take when you will call.
इनिट में भी तो एक वेरिएबल है सेल्फ का और एक बॉल्स पैरा का भी वेरिएबल है सेल्फ इज नॉट अ वेरिएबल सेल्फ बॉल पैरा इज और सेल्फ इज लिस्ट नो
self is the object.
See, basically it is behind the code I am telling you. Okay, so in abstraction they did this thing. You can basically use it without self also, but self will tell the instance itself.
like tube1 is
Tube1, if you are giving tube1 tube, then this tube1 is basically going inside the tube as self.
like self it's on
It is written basically tube1 comma rrbb, but this tube1 is in the memory location, not the variable, not the value. Memory, where memory? Okay.
सी प्लस प्लस समझा तो ये tube1 एक इन्वोकिंग ऑब्जेक्ट हुआ ऑब्जेक्ट को पास किया उसमें क्लास में सी प्लस प्लस समझा
ऐसा तो नहीं है, नहीं, इन्वोकिंग ऑब्जेक्ट की तरह नहीं है. बेसिकली तुम इसको सेल्फ को मान सकते हो इंस्टेंस, जब तुम इसको tube1 डॉट कोई फंक्शन कॉल करोगे ना यूजर डिफाइंड करके, ठीक है, तो यूजर डिफाइंड मेथड में अब सेल्फ बेसिकली वो tube1 ही पास हो रहा है. ओके, if you will see it as a independent function, then basically it is taking that instance from the memory location, okay, and then other parameter and doing some operation on that instance. Okay, so self is the instance here. Okay, ठीक है. So if I'll give tube2, then tube2 will be self. Okay, that's why when we are initializing, then we are saying self dot balls equal to balls para. So when I am making a new tube, whatever balls parameter I am giving, that will go in that instance balls variable. Understood? Any doubt? This thing is clear, right? So this is class, then this is an instance, and this is like representative of instance here. Okay. Okay.
should we define any cause para
Sorry.
cause para we should define anything we can we give any value to that para
Yeah, that's what we are passing here. No, when I initialize, this is the argument for the ball para. This is the argument for the ball para, which will go. So now this is self dot ball. So if I'll call tube1 dot balls, then this should come. Why? Because init saved this thing in tube1's instance balls variable. So if I'll say tube1 dot ball, then I will get that.
instead of self it's just putting tube1 and then in the tube1
Okay, so that's it.
like if you want like numeric thing like we should be changed and like in the list now you are having in the list we have given a thing like R or T. So I want like numeric
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, now it is after this tube1 dot ball, this is now list. Okay, type of this is list. So it will now demonstrate all the functions of list. Yeah, so you can do whatever you want to. Okay. Okay, so polymorphism is clear. polymorphism is clear, abstraction is clear. Abstraction is clear or not? It is basically making a black box kind of thing which you will not care about it later. Okay. Okay.
Is there any other example of polymorphism apart from method overloading? Like any other form of polymorphism? Like
Yes, I will give one example. Okay. Okay. So polymorphism, abstraction, and then encapsulation is also clear. Encapsulation, basically all these things we will keep in one instance. Okay. All the things which are required for that instance, we are keeping it at one place. Okay. At one memory location. That is encapsulation.
Yes.
All things at one place. Okay. All methods, all values, everything. Okay. Okay. And the fourth one is inheritance.